For the next part of the Tetris game, I want to work on the previous section, meaning we want to generate 3 pieces and then show the player what is going to come next. All of that we also want to display in the sidebar. That should all be fairly straightforward. Let's jump right in. And once again, I am back in the code editor, and now I want to work inside of main, because in there we want to create a couple of pieces. Those pieces we are then going to use inside of the game, and we're going to show them inside of the preview. Meaning, before we are creating the components, I want to create the shape, or rather multiple shapes. All of that I will store in an attribute. Let's call it self.nextShapes. This is going to be a list comprehension. Let's say for now, I want to create a shape for shape in range 3. This is going to create numbers 0, 1, and 2. Although I don't actually want to create a number. Instead, I want to pick one random key from the Tetrominos dictionary. For that, this is what we have done before actually. I first of all will need from random the choice method. Inside of that choice, I want to generate a list, and the list is going to be Tetrominos, and more specifically, the keys of Tetrominos. The result of all of that should be a list with 3 random shapes. Let's try. If I now run the entire thing, we get 3 random shapes, T, J, and O. We can try it again, and we get different shapes. So this is working just fine. Perfect. Once we have that, I want to create another method that I am going to call getNextShape. No need for custom parameters, and in there, I first of all want to pick one piece, or more specifically, I want to pick the first item from this list. That I want to store in nextShape, and to get that, I simply want to get self.nextShapes and then use pop. In there, the one argument is going to be 0. What pop does, if you need a reminder, if the list we are going to create contains 3 shapes, let's say O, T, and L. Pop would take the first item and then remove it from the list. And then whatever we have removed will be stored in nextShape. In this case, we would be storing an O. And the remaining list would have T and L. That way, we are picking an item and removing it from the list right away. However, since we always want to have 3 shapes inside of nextShapes, we have to add another item. For that, self.nextShapes, and we want to append another value. That value is going to be a random key from the Tetrominos dictionary, so we can simply copy this line. Finally, at the end of this method, I want to return the next shape. That way, with a method, we can get the next shape from anywhere in the code and then refill the next shapes. All of that should happen inside of the game, which means when I'm creating the instance of this class, I want to insert self.getNextShape. With that, we want to work inside of game.py, and let me minimize everything. I want to work inside of the init method. And there, first of all, we will need another parameter called getNextShape. This we need to turn into an attribute right away. So let's call this one gameConnection. Later on, we're going to have another method in there. I want to self.getNextShape, and the value we are getting from the parameters. With that, we have a method that we can call to get the next shape. This we want to use, and let me minimize the dunder init method. I want to work inside of create new Tetromino. At the moment, whenever we are creating a new piece, we are picking a random item. But that is not what I want. Instead of that, I want to call self.getNextShape. And do not forget to call this one. Only if we are calling it does it return the actual shape. I suppose one more important thing. You only want to call this getNextShape inside of create new Tetromino when we are creating the first piece, so the one that we are creating inside the dunder init method. For this one, I do want to have a random piece. That way, we are creating a random piece when the game starts, and the player can see the next 3 pieces. Although in practice, you could do both and you would be fine. But alright, let's try all of this. Before we are starting the game, so in dunder init of main, I want to print self.nextShapes. then the first tetromino we get should be random, but the second piece should be the first item of next shapes. So the first item is a random, but the next two should be an O. And we are getting one O, and then we should be getting another one as well. And there we go. We get two O's, the next one should be a Z, and that is also working. Perfect. That setup now allows us to get a couple of random pieces and then connect them to the game. What is missing now is we want to work inside of the preview. And I have quite a few files open right now. Let me close the timer, we're not going to need that one. And I want to work purely inside of the preview. As a reminder, right now the preview class is fairly simple. We have a dunder_init method that gets the display surface, so the window, then a surface and a rectangle. After that, we have a run method, and this one displays the surface on top of the display surface. The very first thing that we have to do is to get access to next shapes. This attribute I want to paste into the preview. So one argument is going to be self.nextShapes. Inside of preview, we will then need next shapes as a parameter. After that, we have to capture all of that inside of an attribute. Let's add a comment with shapes, and just to keep things consistent, this should be a general setup. For the shapes, I want to have an attribute self.nextShapes with the value being the next shapes. These shapes, however, are just letters. They are not graphics that we could display. For that, I want to have another attribute, self.shapeSurfaces. What I want to create is going to be a dictionary, where a key would be the name of a shape, for example an L. The associated value should be a surface, or more specifically, an imported PNG. If I open up the project folder, so far we only worked inside of the code, but there's also graphics. If you open that, you can see all of the shapes along with a font. The shapes is what I want to import, and the name of each shape is simply the name of that shape. To import them, we will need a bit of logic. First of all though, I want to create a basic dictionary comprehension. What I want is going to be a shape and then a graphic. This will be for shape in the tetrominoes.keys. With that setup, the shapes are going to be the letters that we need, so T, O, J, and so on. But we do have to do a bit of work for the graphics. First of all, we have to find the import function inside of Pygame to load a graphic. This would be pygame.image.load. Although this seems quite long, instead what I want to do is from pygame.image import load. That way we can simply write load and are good to go. That's a bit shorter. Inside of that method, we will need a path. The path would be, we want to go up one folder, then we want to go to graphics, and in there we have the shapes. For example, a proper path could be T, and do not forget .png. This kind of setup would work, but it's a bit unreliable. Depending on your operating system, you might need forward or backward slashes. So if you hardcode all of this, it could be a bit unreliable. Instead, I want to import another library, or more specifically one part of the OS library. That part is called path. Path allows you to string together a couple of folder names, and then your computer, depending on the operating system, gives you the proper path. The way you would be using it, instead of one hard-coded path, let me copy all of this actually and comment out the first bit. So instead of this one string, I want to have path.join, and in there we need the individual parts. The first one would be, we want to go up one folder. Then for the second argument, we would need the second folder, which would be graphics. After that, we would need the file name, which in our case would be something like t.png. It could also be l.png or o.png, and I think you get the idea. The important thing is that this part has to be flexible, which we can get via an f string. And the actual letter we are getting via the shape. We are nearly done. The last thing that we have to do is whenever you are importing an image into Pygame, you want to add at the end convert_alpha. That way, Pygame is converting the image into a file structure that works much better with Pygame, which is super useful for performance. And this line is quite long because I have a small monitor, but I think on your system this should all fit quite nicely. And with that, we should have a dictionary with all of the graphics. Let's see if this is working. I want to print self.shapeSurfaces. If I now run main.py, we can see that we have a dictionary with the name of the shape and then a surface. I'm quite happy with that. So next up, we can keep on working inside of preview, and I also want to get rid of this comment. The print statement we also don't need anymore. That covers all we need. All we have to do now is to display these graphics. Most of that is going to happen inside of the run method. First of all, I want to get self.surface and then fill all of this with the gray color. If I now run main.py again, we cannot see the preview anymore because now the background is the same as the background color of the window. I guess while we are here as well, we can create the frame around it. Since we already have a rectangle, this is quite easily done. I want to have pygame.draw.rect. I want to draw this rectangle on self.displaySurface. The color is going to be the line color, I believe I called it, although pure white would also work just fine. After that, I want to get self.rect with 2 pixels of the line width and a corner radius of 2 pixels. With that, main.py, we get a proper frame around all of this. Finally, I want to display the actual pieces, and for that, I am going to write a separate method that I'm going to run after we are drawing the background color. I call this one display pieces. This one needs to have one argument, which would be the next shapes. These next shapes we are getting via the parameters. So next shapes when we are running the run method, which means inside of main.py, we are needing for preview.run self.nextShapes. And at this point, I realized I have made a mistake, because inside of the done.init method, we are also storing the next shapes. But we don't actually need that, because we are getting the next shapes via the parameter of the run method. Meaning these next shapes and the parameter, we can just remove. Also then inside of the done.init, these next shapes we don't need anymore. But alright, next up, I want to create the method for displaying the pieces. Define display pieces, we need self, and then we need the shapes, or next shapes, whatever you want to call it. For that, I want to start with a for loop for shape in shapes. Let me print what we are getting from that. If I now run main.py, we are getting the various shapes. So this would, for example, be S, Z, and Z. That being said though, we don't actually care about the letter. What we want to do is create a separate surface. And to be clear here, this surface is going to be a local variable. It is different from self.surface, which is an attribute of the preview class. I guess we could rename it to shape_surface. That's a bit clearer. All I want to do is get my self.shapeSurfaces and then pick one value via the shape. This shape surface we now want to place on the actual surface of the preview class. That we can do fairly easily, although the positioning is going to be messed up. So self.surface.blit, I want to get the shape surface, and let's say for the position, we can go with 0 and 0. If I now run all of this again, we get the pieces, but they're clumped together in the top left. So this isn't good, but it certainly is working. Which means we have to figure out the positioning for these pieces. And figuring out the position is going to be your exercise. Ultimately, what I want to get, if this is the preview area, I want to separate this into 3 equally sized parts, something like this. And then in the center of each of those, I want to display this surface. Pause the video now and see if we can figure this one out. What I want to create as a reminder would be something like this, where we have one shape up here, then we have another shape in the middle, and then a final shape at the bottom. First of all, what we have to figure out is the size of each of these increments. That we can do inside of the init method because this number doesn't change. Let's call it image position data. In there, I want to get one attribute that I called fragment height. This fragment height is literally 1/3 of the entire height of the surface, meaning I want to get self.surface, then get underscore height. That would return the entire height of the surface, and we want to get 1/3 of that because we want to display 3 pieces. So dividing all of this by 3 should be good enough. After that, we have to figure out which piece is going to get which increment. For example, we want to have the first item or item 0 to be on the first increment, then item number 1 on the second increment, and item number 2 on the final increment. These numbers we are getting via the index, which we get with enumerate inside of the for loop. All we have to do is wrap shapes inside of the enumerate function, and then we get the index and the shape. The index would be 0, 1, or 2, which is perfect for what we need. After we have that, we can create an x and a y local variable. These two numbers should be the center of each increment, which means if this is the first complete increment, I always want to have the center. On the horizontal axis, this would be x. On the vertical axis, that would be y. And this we want to do for all 3 of the shapes. For x, this is going to be fairly simple. All we want to do is get half the width of the entire surface, meaning self.surface and then get underscore width, and this we want to divide by 2. Then we're done for this part. For y, we have to think a tiny bit more. We first want to get half of an increment. That way we get to the middle part of the first increment. So this would be 1/2 of the increment, the one we created earlier, and I realized this shouldn't be called fragment height, this should be called increment height. That makes a bit more sense. I guess both names work. We want to start with self.increment height and divide it by 2. This would give us the first point, but later on we are getting 2 more points, this one and this one. To get these points, we want to add 1 more increment, or rather the amount of increments depending on what index we have. Meaning to the halved increment, we want to add I multiplied by self.increment height. And that should be giving us an x and a y. These numbers we could already use. We have x and we have y. And let me get rid of the drawing and try all of this. So we are making progress, but the issue for all of this is that at the moment, we are always placing the top left of the surface. And that's a bit distracting, but I hope you get the idea. The problem at the moment is that when we are placing this point, we are placing the top left instead of the center of the surface. To fix that, we will need a local rectangle. This rectangle should be around the shape surface, the one we created a bit earlier, and on there we want to run get rect. For this one, we now want to place the center. And the center is going to be a position of x and y. And then when we are placing the surface, I want to place it via the rectangle. And now, if I run main.py, this is looking drastically better. Let's try a few more pieces, and I am quite happy with all of that. So with that, we get a preview, and that's looking pretty good. Perfect, another major part done.